Well, gang, this Epstein file stuff is just getting out of hand. Now they're saying Rihanna is in the Epstein files. I can't believe what I'm hearing. I can't believe what I'm seeing. We've just gone back in a time machine 20 years. We're getting new hits. We're getting Rihanna, Jay-Z, Eminem, Pusha T's back. What is going on? It's so twisted. It's so messed up. They're really saying that Rihanna actually is involved in the Jeffrey Epstein debacle, because this has been going around, and they're saying apparently, okay, Rihanna, she had apparently called Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, this is what's going on. There's a screenshot that's going around from the files, and they're saying it's a screenshot of the call log. People calling Epstein. They're having conversation. Look. He got missed calls from Rihanna. Okay. It's crazy. It's official. It's on the DOJ website. As you can see, could be 18 to check it out. There it is. Okay. It's stamped. It's absolute insanity. So people are reacting to this. People are saying at least make it believable, but it is on the DOJ website. It's official. All right. They're saying what? The DOJ are releasing fake Rihanna files now? Truly wild. Okay, people are saying she was a minor during the fiasco. They're saying she's too young to have been involved in this. Who knows? Maybe she was a victim in all of this. But what's really crazy, okay, is essentially, you know, in light of this all going around, the news has just been blowing people's minds and saying Rihanna's name appears leaked in the Epstein documents, but there's no evidence of wrongdoing. Okay, they're saying they released thousands of pages of unsealed documents. A lot of names are coming up. It's popping off in the hip-hop circle jerk. They're saying that we just seen Rihanna in the Epstein files. How? This is the worst timeline possible. How? Right? They're saying, I wonder how Malice and Rocky feel right now. They're saying Rocky probably already knew. Saying Rocky was at Space Ghost Perp's Diddy party. Okay? It's twisted. It's twisted. Now, people are saying my conspiracy theory is they're trying to get everyone on the your favorite is in the Epstein files and mine isn't lol wave, so that people don't grapple with the fact that the CEO of the company they pack boxes for is eating babies in the Caribbean on their dime. They're saying it's not conspiracy, it's blatantly what they're doing. It's easy to obfuscate a situation when you throw out a bunch of BS on top of the truth. All right, there's one guy who's been described as emotional and known for substance abuse, alleging this in a half-awake state. I'm not saying it's not true, but you can't just go and believe it all in one go and no, I'm not getting paid by an alphabet agency. I'm doing it for free. People are saying, man, forget these celebrity reveals. They're so thin. There's literally a politician or some high figure saying he loved the torture video in the files. Elon Musk is in them, begging to go to the island via email. The focus pull is crazy. Okay, they're all trying to make it about Rihanna. All right. Now, look, in the previous video I touched on, all right, the theory that Rihanna could be a victim on all of this does hold water. Obviously, there was talk of, you know, Jay-Z making a 17-year-old Rihanna sit for 12 hours in his Def Jam office, told her there's two ways to leave here, either through the door with a deal signed or through this window and one on the 29th floor. Is it unthinkable that numerous people could be preying on Rihanna like that? It is thinkable, okay? So it's been going around, all right. This is the this is the media takeout article on it saying Rihanna possibly linked to Jeffrey Epstein, leaked call logs suggest, and it is pretty crazy, okay. It says Rihanna's name appeared in the documents. There's no evidence of wrongdoing, but her number popped up in the thousands of pages, okay. There were 2 call log entries showing 1 missed call and 1 outgoing call to a person listed simply as Rihanna. Now, in addition, there are 2 emails referencing the singer. One email allegedly mentions Rihanna dating an Arab billionaire, and another email reportedly references a file or a message labeled Rihanna, which some outlets are speculating could have included a video. Okay, it says this part's critical. There's no evidence that Rihanna had a direct relationship with Jeffrey Epstein or visited his properties, participated in any events tied to him, or was involved in any illegal activity. But this is the email, 2017, basically saying big gap. But obviously Rihanna was dating a Middle Eastern billionaire, from what I understand. It said this guy is now dating Rihanna. That was interesting enough for somebody to send it to big Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, very, very twisted. All right. There's another one. It says alert, Rihanna video. And that's it. Now, I would like to know what video that is. Okay, would like to know what video that is. So it has been going crazy in this Lipstick Alley forum. Okay, and there's a pretty crazy thread that is going around related to all of this. Look, I don't condone anything that's said in this forum posting, okay, this forum back and forth, but it is pretty spicy, some of the stuff that comes up. There's some crazy rumors. I'm not vouching for them, but I'm just letting you know the discourse that is actually going on in these deranged corners of the internet, okay? So they post the call logs, they post those emails that I've already shown you. Now, this person said the blogs back in '08 was saying Rihanna was selling coochie. They say that's how she was able to climb the ladder with no talent. All these girls were escorts, Rihanna too. I guess they weren't lying. Some people are saying it must be AI, or is it? People say, I never heard anything about Rihanna being associated with Epstein, but I did read somewhere that billionaire Arab guy was a client of Madam Naomi Campbell. Naomi is a shady character. I think she wanted him for herself. You know, Naomi likes to stay on the arm of a billionaire. People saying, isn't Rihanna from an island? LMFAO. I always thought it was weird how they picked her when she literally can't sing. If you don't believe me, Google her singing Hero before she got scouted. So, yeah, people posted pictures of her with motorcycle gang members, the white pot-bellied kind. It was odd. People saying it definitely is real. It's on the DOJ website, same as everything else. But then people don't buy it. Some people are saying, LMAO, now they're bringing Rihanna into it. This thread is going to be so funny because now people are going to bring up that Rihanna was always a pass-around rumors. If people are bringing up celebrities, why haven't they brought up Naomi Campbell's S-trafficking ass up in these Epstein files since her and Rihanna used to be in the same circles, both dating that Arab dude? It says, and people wonder how she became a billionaire off fuzzy flip-flops. That's crazy. They're saying there's dark web tea going around from someone claiming to be an Epstein driver, saying that he drove girls to meet Barbados back in 2011, 2010. So should we read it? I'm not condoning for the authenticity of this in any way, okay, but this is definitely going to be some deranged tea from, allegedly from the dark web. This looks like 4chan rather than the dark web. This says, so the most noteworthy thing that happened while working at Def Jam is when Rihanna had a party to celebrate the end of her tour. Everyone was there. I mean, all of the pop stars were there. Jonas Brothers, Lady Gaga, Justin Bieber, even a few old heads like Elton John and some actors. I noticed John Travolta for sure. Seth Rogen, Emma Stone, Bradley Cooper, to name a few. For this party, I was, of course, tasked with getting entertainment. They wanted as young as I could get, as many as I could get. Ostensibly, they were being hired to be wait staff, valet drivers, but the plan is to switch it up on them when they actually get there, give them drugs, money, or whatever they need to do what they wanted them to do, which was essentially be all expenses paid working girls, let's say, for whoever wanted them. That part, thankfully, was not my job. I'm just the piece of shit who tricked them into going. I picked up 5 young girls from a mall, a couple of teenage boys I found walking along the road, and then I got hold of an escort company to fill out and make it an even dozen. The ones from the escort company were not underage, and I was severely chastised for it. My manager basically asked if I ever wanted to work again. I said yes, and he said, act like you've got some goddamn sense. I didn't make this mistake again. After the tour ended, I was on my own for a month or so. I rented a house near Tulsa and basically isolated the entire time. I was starting to get ideas in my head about going to trade school or something when I was called back in to come work for Mr. Epstein again. That is insanity. Okay. People are saying, yes, I saw that thread on 4chan right before Ghislaine got arrested, but people are saying they made it up. People say, I'm guessing the connection could be the rumored madam herself, Naomi Campbell. Okay. And they're basically saying edited to add my comment from another thread. And this is the thread. Okay. Oh my gosh. Here we go. People saying they always believed that Rihanna and Hassan were an example of this. It says Rihanna snatched him under Naomi Campbell, and Naomi Campbell didn't like that Ree stole her client. They're talking about the rich billionaire. I also think it's another reason why Naomi knew that he'd never marry her. Naomi's an OG when it comes to these billionaire clients. She's been there, done that, and got the t-shirt. I think it's also why Hassan, always kept her hidden and didn't want photos of them out there. I think it grew to be a little more, but he always knew it would never fully grow out of what it initially started as. Ree eventually realized this and dipped, went back to the real relationships in her life, and found comfort in Rocky, who actually recognized her and was willing to go all in. Okay. People saying it's on the government website. Rihanna was calling Epstein, stop standing and accept the truth. Okay, it says they're just throwing anybody black in this mess to deflect from Trump and his cronies. That's an interesting narrative. And I'm sick of it. You'll fall for everyone, for anything. It says that could literally be anyone you fool. He lured young women into his cult. He told them he knew the likes of Rihanna and Katie, etc. There's zero evidence that this is actually the pop star Rihanna or there's any legitimacy to this. People saying, I wonder if her name would come up because I do remember that story from the supposed driver. They made it out like she was a honeypot or gatekeeper or some sort of thing to attract the girls. People saying they don't believe it. It's unsubstantiated claims. But they're saying they said she was a child S-slave in Barbados, and I'm willing to believe it, but anyone can put that in their phone. Let's not be obtuse. Okay, and I think, was this the one we already read? Yeah, this is the one we already read. I think there's another one of these going around somewhere, though. Is it the same one? It's the same one. I thought it was another one. People saying, wait a damn minute. And then they're bringing up all this shit that I spoke about in the other video about Jay-Z dating people. Allegedly, it was a problem. It says, Rihanna's old publicist, Jonathan Hayes, said that he was approached by the feds who were investigating Jay-Z for allegedly engaging in sexual activity with underage Rihanna and transporting her across national borders. They said she wasn't the only one and there were many others. That is insane. Unsubstantiated, okay? Don't sue me. This is just a completely anonymous forum with people talking nonsense, but it is pretty interesting. It's pretty salacious. I mean, obviously, this is interesting. People say it's already public knowledge that Naomi Campbell was on his flight log. It's been known for years now. Pipe down. I'm trying to see where all of this goes. So she was a huge star already by then. Wouldn't those just be fans that wanted a picture? Why does she have to be having S with any dude she's in a picture with? Okay, that's a good point. People saying there's no way Rihanna was mixed up in this. The admin is putting all the black celebs in this so that the people don't forget the PDF in chief is getting busy. Mixing up Riri's name in this isn't going to work. This says it was a creepier picture. I've never been able to find it again. People saying real question. Are there any records of Epstein actually interacting with black people outside of Chris Tucker and Michael Jackson, with the exception of black male entertainers that he seemed to keep as his pervy social circle, ultra white, along with the children he was exploiting, and R-wording. People saying, yeah, because Rihanna's phone says Rihanna. I'm pretty sure she checks into hotels under the name Rihanna too. Lol. Sarcasm for the crayon eaters out there. But he's saying, girl, what? The screenshots from Epstein's phone. It means he's got Rihanna's contact and he got a missed call from her. He was saying, do you guys realize that she isn't the only person in the world named Rihanna? I noticed there were other call logs from other female names. How do we know this Rihanna isn't a S-trafficking victim and not the Rihanna Fenty? In the emails, he could have been talking about her with the call log, but I don't see proof. I'm getting perturbed by all the black people somehow getting dragged into the Epstein mess by way of a bunch of assumptions and possible lies. Jay-Z hanging with Weinstein in 1996? I don't think so. Okay. And they're saying Rihanna had just dropped the Needed Me music video the day before. Jeffrey Epstein might just be the Navy. Okay, I don't know. I'm wondering who Sneaky Dog is. I do think it's interesting. I do think it is actually very, very interesting. Does it say someone's called Sneaky Dog? I wonder who Sneaky Dog is. He missing a call from Rihanna, and he having a couple phone calls with Sneaky Dog. Got to wonder who Sneaky Dog is, man. But look, I actually do think that maybe there is something going on where they are trying to like pop down a few people in the black community, a couple of celebrities. It definitely has been quite a big distraction. A lot of these little side stories and sideshows related to these files, you know, it's definitely taking your attention away from some other things that are going on. Let's just say that, okay? And there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world right now beyond these files. Let's just say that. Beyond these files, there's a lot of stuff going on with the financial system. There's a lot of stuff going on with commodities, gold, silver. The prices are going a bit... Things are a little bit crazy behind the scenes, so this would be the perfect distraction. Now, I wonder whether... Could it be possible that people are actually fabricating some of these files? Or even just like, could they have stooges submitting it? Because the Jay-Z files and the Eminem files, these were anonymous tips that the FBI logged and recorded, but it doesn't mean anything was investigated. It doesn't mean anything was proven. In fact, it means nothing was proven. Nothing was proven. Rihanna popping up in a call log. This could be one of the most easiest things to fabricate in the whole world. You can't say that it's not in the Epstein files. You can't say Rihanna's name is not in the Epstein files, because it is now. It is. But that doesn't necessarily mean anything. But I think this whole thing could be a distraction. And if I find out what it is, I might tell you guys, I might not, because you know what? I'm trying to live. I'm trying to live. All right. But I will keep you guys informed. I will keep digging into this. I've got some other interesting breakdowns for you guys to come. I'm going to do one more Epstein files breakdown today, and then I'm going to do a little David update that's unrelated to that, because there is actually something really interesting that I found recently that I think you're going to find fascinating. But yeah, Rihanna's in the files, man. They're saying, you know, who knows? Maybe she was trafficked. Maybe it was Cap. Maybe this is one big distraction to stop you realizing that all of your money and your savings might soon be worthless. But hey, do your own research on that. I'll catch you guys in the next video. And until next time, peace.